Hello, citizens of the Destination, and thank you very much for tuning in to another episode. Before we begin, I want to go ahead and talk about a little personal victory of mine. As you will notice, especially if you're watching the video of this podcast on Spotify or YouTube, you will notice that for the first time in the history of the Destination podcast, we now have two microphones.
Two mics.
And yeah, so we're no more of just shouting into the one big one here. We are slowly ramping up the quality of the production here. And if for future episodes, once I figure out, we are now also going to have two cameras. So yeah, really trying to get into the video space here. We'll be able to make, clips for the TikToks and the Instagrams and all these things that these kids are on with their new fandangled technology. So yes, if you haven't already, do please follow the channel, whether it be on Spotify, on Facebook, anywhere you can. I'll actually have an Instagram for the Destination Podcast as well. And then also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Destin Richardson BDR. And yeah, I actually am currently holding a little contest for listeners and friends and family and whatnot. If I am able to get 500 subscribers by April Fool's Day, I will shave my head. Now, granted, with my hairline, I'm going to be bald in 2 or 3 years anyway, but I am willing to give a head start if you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. So yeah, by April 1st, if I get to 500 YouTube subscribers, then I will shave my head bald. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, please enjoy today's episode of the Destination Podcast.
Back in like 1999 now. Like I got 4 channels.
Yeah, right.
Like Laugh TV, showing home improvement reruns.
Right. My dad, as soon as when they were living here over the summer, nothing infuriated him more than the fact that I didn't have basic cable.
Yeah. It's so easy to get.
It is. And I had it when I got the house. Also, because my parents are old fashioned, they insisted that I get a landline. I was like, we didn't have landlines back in like 2007. Why would I have one in 2014 or whenever?
Right.
Nobody. Yeah, as I was like cleaning out my house pretty recently, I found my old landline phones, and I want to like put those on like some Facebook group of feeling old yet. Actually, on a non-ironic feeling old yet, I was in Kroger today.
Yeah.
And Baja Blast is celebrating their 20th anniversary of that flavor. That actually made me feel old. I distinctly remember when Baja Blast hit the world.
I think I may have had it one time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan?
Don't drink pop.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, you would not be a fan. But, hey, anyway, thank you all for listening to the Destination Podcast. You know me, unfortunately. You may not know the gentleman sitting across from me. This is Zach Harley. Zach Harley's one of the brightest up-and-comers in Columbus comedy. And also, this might be the first time we ever had a guest name dropped the episode right before, and then they've magically appeared. So we're now starting some like Marvel Cinematic Universe level of continuity here amongst the podcast. So the next Destin verse I'm trying to manifest. I was talking to Dave Chappelle 2 days ago on here. Of course. And that episode's gonna be great. Yeah, he is.
I think it's gonna anger some people.
Yeah. And actually, I was prohibited of MLK Day and Dreamer. It was actually copywritten by Martin Luther King Jr.
I heard he was just a fan of all federal holidays.
Right.
No, don't drop it on any federal holiday out there.
Right. I was like, but
he's the reason both of us don't have to go to work today.
Right. Wait, Dave Chappelle or Martin Luther King?
Well,
yeah.
Who can say this?
Right.
They're both kind of preachers, right?
No, MLK wasn't nearly as much of the preacher. Sorry, Dave. You're like,
He's gonna cancel
yeah.
the one you already did.
I'm kidding. This is obviously the one comment I'll actually edit out.
And I'm gonna have to go find it and brush my teeth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
have the worst breath ever.
Well.
But anyway, Zach, how long have you been doing stand-up?
It'll be 2 years, January 28th.
Okay.
So end of the month.
Yeah, nice.
2 years.
Nice. And then what made you want to start?
Ego. I did radio for a while and then I quit because there's no money there, like less than you could live on. And so I got a job in media behind the scenes, but then after 3 months, I was like, I need a microphone. I need someone to listen to what I have to say. And then I just started. I had some bits I worked on for like a month, and then I finally took it there. And then there was a fight that broke out the first time I went up on stage.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, I was at the Old Shrunken Head in Columbus.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And I have thought whatever. But so I do my set. I'm fine. It's like 4 or 5 comics later. I'm at the bar getting a drink, and then all of a sudden this dude just starts getting like rowdy with the bartender. And the bartender at that place had a wooden bat, and it looked used. It wasn't a new one that like you were just like,
yeah,
I'm gonna scare you. It's like, no, you see this dent? This was 06, like, and so she brought.
You see this dried blood? That was 09.
Right? Yeah, you can still see snot from last week. Yeah, so she used that thing, and she banged that on the bar, and I was like, okay, so this is comedy. All right, sick. And then a couple comics gently carried that man out of the bar, and the only thing I was thinking the whole time is like, that guy just drank for free all night. Like, what?
Right.
There's no way he paid.
Yeah.
And there's no way they're going to let him come back. So he just got a free bar tab.
Right.
All you got to do is get in a little tussle.
We call that the white trash coupon.
Cops showed up and let him go. That's a great coupon. An hour you time for the cops, and you get $50 worth of free drinks.
Right. And you get street cred.
And you get street cred with, I don't know who, but
unsavory folks. Because also the downside, he didn't pay. He definitely didn't tip.
He didn't tip either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was it worth it? I bet you he probably woke up in the morning like, yeah, that sucked. But also, my bank account looks the same.
Yeah.
And I got pretty.
Worst part, I know. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that story, and it was one of the times I wasn't there. I love that was your first.
That was my first
time.
one.
Hell yeah.
Things go bad every time it's like a first. Like my first. You're a Steeler fan, so you probably don't know this, but my first Browns game in 02, it's infamous amongst Browns fans. The Browns were gonna win. They were up by like a point or two, and they get a stop on 4th down against Kansas City, and the defense goes nuts. Everyone's going nuts. We got our first, week 1 win ever so far because we're only 3 years old at that point because we were reborn.
Right.
And then one of the defensive players, I think it's Dwayne Rudd, takes his helmet and throws it in the air, 15-yard penalty, untimed down, got Kansas City close enough to kick a field goal. They kick that field goal, they win, we lose. That was my first game. So don't take me to a first. I was going to go see Springsteen for the first time. He has canceled the last 2 shows. In 2013, I went to go see Green Day for the first time. Billy Joe's like, now's a good time for rehab.
Right,
so
right.
If it's a first, don't let me go.
Right. I back in like 2007 or whenever, Mike M was coming to the shot scene, and Muse was their opening act. So already I was like, Mike M and Muse together. That's awesome. And like all but Mikey Way, the bass player from Mike M, got food poisoning in Virginia the night before because he was the only one that didn't eat the chicken from the catering.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My Chemical Stomach.
Yes. So that was like, I heard that and I was like, that's probably the only time that he can actually be one of those "I told you so" vegetarians. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he was
annoying.
And the thing is, he's
he
not
won.
even anymore. He was at that time. He was just practicing vegetarianism.
He didn't practice well.
Yeah,
He gave up on the sport.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, just like sobriety. Like I've practiced it a lot. I just, I can't ever get through that glass ceiling. So I just
getting to a glass bottle is a lot easier.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get to the bottom of that.
Right. I was gonna say, I mean, I've been practicing comedy now for almost 6 years.
You make it sound it's like its own religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you practice? Comedy.
Yeah. Hey, on this podcast, it is a religion.
Father, son, George Carlin.
Yeah, which ironically George Carlin would hate the shit out of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. He would hate it.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce. Yeah, all of them.
Right. Just do the sacrilege of all the comics that would hate being compared to as religious figures. The George Carlin, the Bill Hicks, and the Lenny Bruce.
Not the Bill Cosby. This is the Bill Cosby.
Yeah, well, no, he actually was he was a preacher. He was a preacher.
He did spread some things that you just weren't expecting.
Yeah,
at those times. Yeah, and then he just fizzled away.
Yeah, I
dropped in, dropped out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he preached to Eddie Murphy about all the things he can't do, and then
and he said, "Go away, Bill Cosby." And Eddie Murphy was right on that one, right side of history for bashing Bill Cosby in the '80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Hannibal Buress kind of gets the credit, but yeah, Eddie was on that train early.
I think the women did a lot of the work.
Yeah, they were on that train early too.
Well, they didn't ask. It was like their own Polar Express.
Some guy with a creepy eye.
Wow, that's a nice sweater.
They just wake up. They just wake up to consciousness and they see Uncanny Valley. Like, oh no.
And who knew? Tom Hanks is more. So he could have played the guy on Polar Express. Yeah. Tom Hanks had the plane. Cosby had the drugs. It was fun.
Yeah,
they're all great people.
No. But to get out of such dangerous waters here, who would you say your influences are? Bill Cosby. I fucking knew it. That I threw that one up there for you.
Right now, I'm loving Cat Williams style comedy.
Who do you want to call out on this podcast?
I loved Shane Gillis's old stuff before he got cast on SNL. Let's see. Chris D'Elia, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Who? The all-time great Michael Richards.
Oh yeah. Happy MLK Day table.
I loved his old stuff. I loved it. Whenever
his crowd work left a little bit to be desired.
Well, I don't know. When he was at the Laugh Factory, it brought something a little extra out of him,
Yeah.
A couple new letters. No, it's
this comedy was surprisingly dark.
It was dark. It was darker than his current career. Seinfeld, Carlin. I like this Bargatze, Mike Birbiglia, like all those guys. I love Eddie Murphy's old. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like Ron Delirious, like everybody loves that.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of Steve. Cedric the Entertainer.
Yep.
No, but yeah, those white comics and Eddie Murphy. That's I always wanted to like Cat Williams, but I didn't have like HBO or anything, so I could only see him on Comedy Central,
which was obviously tamed down.
No, it would be the normal stuff, but you still had to bleep out like every sixth word.
Right.
And especially because it was like 2003. So like we didn't let anything slide in 2003.
No.
And so like I like couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
That's fair. I was the opposite. I had pretty much like 2 white guys, and then the rest of my influences were all black comics.
Yeah.
And I think it really shines through in my current material.
Yeah.
But
yeah. That's why you dress up as a king for Martin Luther.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. I'm a big urban act. Yeah.
Yeah. Grind on me.
Yeah. That's one I feel like that, like the term urban act, that's just white people trying too hard to like be politically correct.
I'm so suburban. I get urban and rural mixed up all the time. Like I don't know.
I joke that I'm an urban act. Unfortunately, everyone sees me as a rural. I live here and I dress the part a lot of the times. I mean, like right now, this is pretty rural, but I mean, and you dress the same for the last 2 years too. So like you've narrowed in on what works for you though. You found your.
I've dressed the same since college.
Yeah,
I haven't changed.
You found your voice and your look, which is always a good thing for a comic to do.
Yeah,
and that voice is always waiting to get the call up to be a third base coach for Little League.
I'm sending Bobby. Let's go, buddy. Nope, other way. Let's go.
I don't grab the belt buckle. I like just whip the whole belt out and I like lasso, like go around, go around, go around.
No, keep going. The ball, he threw it in the parking lot. Keep running. They got to go chase it. There's no fences.
Yeah.
I love the games. There was like no fences. And then, because I used to coach, and sometimes there wouldn't be a fence. They're like, all right, this pothole is out of play, but before the pothole is fair.
Right.
Like, what if it goes in the pothole, sir? And then he's like, you're gonna have to dig it out. I'm like, put your hands up. He's like, no, we're playing. It's just a parking lot.
Yeah, we'll red light. Green again.
Sir, it's stuck under the rebar in the concrete. I don't think I can get that ball out in time. I think Ginny's got some wheels coming from first. It's a paraplegic baseball league. So he's got literally wheels. He's what was that? Kenny Kawaguchi on Backyard Baseball. Did you ever play that?
Yeah. Fucking Pablo
Sanchez, the GOAT.
The GOAT. Yeah.
He was Mike Trout, Adrian Peterson without the child beating allegations, and LeBron James all at the same time.
Yeah,
and
with the hairline
and Pele, same hairline as Miami LeBron. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Current LeBron, he finally made enough money. Good for him.
Right.
He has worked super hard. He finally got enough money to fix his hair. Just as like normal suburban dads do. He finally forked over the cash.
Yeah,
I don't know how Savannah supported him for so long. I don't get it.
Right. I mean, that's my goal. My goal is to make enough stand-up comedy money to fix my hair, basically, and then I'll
Savannah James to support you.
I mean, baby, if you're listening, if you want some white chocolate, looks different but tastes the same. I don't have the vertical leap. I'll say that he's got me beat on the vertical leap.
Just by a touch, right?
Yeah,
not a whole lot.
Yeah, by like centimeters.
Yeah, like by
like 40 centimeters.
I mean, like 3 or 4 feet. You know?
Yeah.
He can dunk a ball, and I can dunk a roux.
Yeah, right.
I got cookies.
That's for after Savannah.
Yeah. Cookie. Whose wife?
No, seriously, I will shamelessly put this out there. Like in like 5 years time, if anyone sees me with like a beautiful full head of hair and you're like, that's fake, I'm like, damn right, it's fake. I earned this.
I earned this fake hair.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I have enough ego to get me on stage, and that's it. I have fucking no pride. I'll wear it. That's it.
I always said if the hair goes, the hair goes. I'm not doing jack about it, man.
Yeah. I would say I'm not either, but I'm wearing a hat indoors, so clearly I am.
What is this? The 50s? I'm wearing a.
So those are the good house shoes.
If I didn't get a haircut today and I got it tomorrow, I would have also had a hat indoors.
Yeah.
Angering grandmothers everywhere.
Right.
Irish Catholic to cover their head.
Yeah. My mom's not a fan of wearing a hat at the table. Her big thing is, and this isn't a dinner thing. If you do this during dinner, you are a psycho and you should be kicked out. But my mom hates anytime you like put shoes on a table. Like if you like bought a pair of shoes at the store and and it's with all your groceries and everything, she would freak out if she saw every bag on the table because she knows that there's a pair of shoes in like one of the bags.
But they're clean.
They're clean. And in that case, they're in a bag. Or like if you're sitting down and you're putting your shoes on, like right here, I have like pretty high chairs. So like, I have I throw one up there while I'm putting one on and tying it. Like she saw that, she flipped the fuck out.
I mean, I get it.
Yes.
But I don't know. None of my stuff in my house is nice enough for me to care. If I go home and I'm chilling 15 minutes, my shoes are already on, I'm kicking them up on the table. I'll clean them I'll clean the table to make myself feel better before I eat on that same table because I have one.
Yeah, no, that was when they lived with me though. Unfortunately, she was a lot better this time around about how I live my life, if you call it a life. But the first time they lived with me, I was like 8 years ago when she had colon cancer. That's going on 8 years of remission now. My dad's, he's going on 5 months or 4 months now, maybe.
Nice.
For those listening, he'll be back on for his part 2 episode to fill all you in.
Yeah.
That's the actual manifesting because I can't get Dave Chappelle to answer.
You can't. Oh
no,
he canceled already.
Yeah. Because I sent him my phone number. I sent him, like a blood sample. I sent him my email.
Well, it was probably the blood sample. He's like, I don't know why you would send me that.
Oh yeah.
I just needed an email.
How can I forget? Dave Chappelle's a Crip, so me sending him blood,
Shut the hell. Dave Chappelle's a Crip.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got that the Crip walk a little bit.
He's just old. That's just his walk.
I know.
It's just when he named his special Sticks and Stones because that's how he feels all the time.
Right.
He's like, man, I can break at any time.
Yeah. No, actually, I'll tell you about the greatest Crip walk I've ever seen was Gilbert Gottfried. I saw him I saw him in 2018, and so this is like 2 or 3 years before he died, and he had to be like helped on stage and everything. He was just not in good physical health.
Yeah.
And then I did that stupid rookie mistake in the meet and greet line afterwards of asking him like advice for someone just starting out, and he's like, quit. And then 2 or 3 years later, he took his own advice finally. So fuck you, asshole.
You should have never started comedy.
I'll say this. I did a rewatch because on Amazon Prime they have like almost every single comedy
commercials.
No,
I think that's his best work.
I'll find those on YouTube.
I think that's his best work.
Yeah. No, they have like all the almost all the Comedy Central roast. I think the one they don't have is the one of Dennis Leary. But I was rewatching all the roasts, kind of preparing for the roast of Harry Potter we did back in December, and just some of Gilbert's. Gilbert's fucking Rosella for the roast of Roseanne still to this day, like it got me. Just how much he really just leaned into this one bit and just took it way too far.
Just kept going,
yeah. Because typically, when you're roasting, the idea is to be very quick, to have like no fat on the joke whatsoever, and then something like that's almost entirely fat, but it's great. But yeah. So anyway, are you from Columbus or okay? Where'd you come from?
From Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay.
Can't either.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're doing this on a Pittsburgh playoff Monday.
Yeah.
Like my team already got trounced. You still have hope.
Do we though?
I don't know, man. This has been weird.
I don't know, man.
Detroit won a playoff game. Anything is possible.
That's fair.
Anything
That
is
fair.
possible.
Yeah, what was it? Fucking 2 or 3 years ago, the Lions had a perfect losing season, wasn't it?
Did you say 2 or 3 years ago?
Or how long ago?
2008.
Oh, okay.
The Browns went 0-16 in 2017.
17, yeah. Okay.
And we went.
I think I had those confused. I thought it was like Browns had a perfect losing season earlier.
And ours was better because the Browns fans threw a parade to celebrate 0-16.
Yeah. You got to have something to do in Cleveland.
There's other things than doing it, but you know what?
No, I love that actually. When I heard that, that was like that was almost like that had like Canadian energy to it, if that makes sense.
Well, it was more of a protest, and they're just like, we're gonna make it a parade, but like all the signs were like, fix this, like now.
Oh well, yeah.
Like we are sick of all of this,
right.
And like we would have said stay out if we knew this is what you were gonna bring back.
Right.
In '99, like we thought Baltimore hated us. I think they did us a favor. They got us. They gave us our Sundays free for 4 years. That's
right.
I remember asking my dad, I was like, what were those 4 years like? He's like, nice. He's like, I can do some yard work on Sunday and not care. I'll go check halftime scores. Okay. Go back outside.
Yeah. Anything with the beers.
No, it was like, this is great.
Enjoying a crisp cold one with the boys.
I always told everybody that the bye week was my favorite week.
Yeah.
Browns couldn't lose.
Right.
I remember one year they played in London and I didn't wake up early enough to watch it. So for 2 weeks, I didn't get to see the Browns lose. It was a great half month right there.
Yeah. So you can make your own perfect little narrative in the head of them, like covering like 20 points against. Yeah.
They're gonna cover. They'll always cover.
Yeah.
The rule is you don't bet on the Browns.
Right.
I'd rather put 50 on them the other day. I'm like, dude. He's like, should I do it? And I'm like, it's not my money. Do it.
Yeah.
I had confidence, like an idiot.
Right.
30 years has taught me nothing.
Yeah. Except not to get your hopes up, to not trust anything.
Yeah, unless LeBron is here, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And the Guardians, I mean, they're not gonna be doing shit.
Yet to be seen.
Right.
And
they haven't lately. They haven't been
in the World Series in 16.
Yeah, 16.
They had the best record in the A on 17.
Yeah, I remember. Playoffs. Yeah, I remember that because my boss was one of those Cub fans in Ohio. So a prick is what he was. But he wore like he also being the boss. Obviously, he just forgot to wear any like professional clothing ever. He was just wearing his Cubs jerseys every freaking day.
That's what you do.
And like, you know what? It's except for him, I didn't want it for him, but I wanted it for Chicago. I was like, if anybody's gonna beat the Guardians, you want it to be the Cubs.
No, yeah.
It's just like, hey, as a lifelong Steelers fan, I wanted the Browns to win this year. I do. I want them to get one. And then I want them to lose every other game for the rest of my life.
Because you want a rivalry back.
Exactly. Like there for a long time. It was like picking on a handicapped kid.
What? I know.
Yeah.
I hate Baltimore more than you guys. You guys did what everybody else has done to us.
I also hate Baltimore more than Cleveland.
Yeah. And I wish I hated Pittsburgh more. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Hating Pittsburgh and then Pittsburgh hating us. But
right.
We've sucked for so damn long.
Yeah.
Massage Jesus. That's what I'm going to call him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's what he calls himself.
Oh, my goodness. And then he came back and sucked at football. He's just bad.
He gets when you get sucked, you suck. So
I hope Baker wins the Super Bowl.
Right.
I hope Baker Mayfield wins the Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah, I remember, man, when Cleveland loved Baker, man. That was a good, solid year.
I still do.
Yeah.
A lot of sane people still do.
Yeah.
Because we thought a lot of people, even if they didn't like him as like the quarterback, they were like, you did him wrong. Like they told him a week before they traded for Deshaun, there's no way we're trading for Deshaun. They told him that.
Oh,
And then literally a week later.
Yeah. I remember Baker's like second game in the NFL. It was against like the Steelers, and it was the one that they tied, which once again was a Cleveland victory.
Yeah, that was his first start. Yeah.
First one. Never mind. Yeah, that was a Cleveland victory. Was the fact that they just didn't lose. And I was in Cleveland because I was seeing a Breaking Benjamin concert that night.
Okay.
And I'm watching it from the hotel room, and I was like, I missed almost all the opening acts because like I was actually watching this game because it was like
it was a good game. Yeah.
And then and the whole time I'm just like, Cleveland's going to be Cleveland again. They're going to lose it in last possible second. But then the Steelers were also trying as hard as they could to lose that game too. So it was who didn't want to win more.
Yeah. And neither of them wanted.
Yeah, they did not want.
So nobody won.
Yeah. But yeah, from that moment on, even I was like a Baker fan.
Yeah. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. But speaking of football, who do you support?
What?
Who do you support?
For what?
Football.
Are you being annoying?
Yes, I am.
No one. I don't care.
I was like, just as long as you're not saying Arsenal, we're a Tottenham house here. So
you could have told me to name 100 sports teams, and those two wouldn't have come up. I could have went through NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL before I even. And then I would have said Columbus Crew, LA Galaxy, and then that just made me go, all right, nope, now I'm doing the WNBA. LA Sparks, like it would take me so long
to name 5 soccer teams.
I would say Chelsea, Man U, Man City. Yep. Barcelona.
Yeah.
And
now at this point, you're just naming countries.
Yeah, but that's a team. That's
Barcelona's
FC, right? Didn't Messi play for them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, man. That's about all I got. Liverpool. There we go.
Okay.
That's 5.
Yeah, there we go.
That's 5. FIFA 2010 coming in handy.
Speaking of 2010 sports, so I would always troll like one of my best friends because he's a huge sports guy and I'm not that big of a sports guy.
Yeah.
My base until like 2007 or 8, so I'll like always constantly spit those facts at him.
You're like, Nomar Garcia-Parra's 2003 season was unbelievable.
I especially I'll still to this day ask him. It's like, are the A's still piping hot?
Yeah, Mark Kotze swinging a hot bat these days. Yeah. Mark Mulder's taking them out.
That's
you
right.
got Timmy Hudson towing the rubber.
Barry Zito still throwing the.
You know how old your references are? That Mark Kotze is the manager of the A's now. That's how old. Yeah. That is. Hideo Nomo's fastball's working today.
Scott Hadberg still have a perfect season of no errors.
No errors for picking machine. Pudge has been electric behind the plate, hasn't he? Yeah. He is a brick wall. Now, I'll tell you what, Pedro Martinez is putting up Hall of Fame numbers. I hope he can keep it up.
That's right. I love this new prospect in Philadelphia, Ryan Howard. Howard Nutley, man, they're going to take them all the way to the series. I was just saying.
Can you believe that Barry Bonds was in court for that?
I know, right?
All these baseball. Did you cheat in a game? Did you cheat in a game, Jose? Absolutely. We all did. Yeah. Everybody shot it up their ass. Jose Canseco just laid it out, and everyone's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, right.
We're in the last day of this. Sammy Sosa's like, why? Yeah. Barry Bonds didn't show. He couldn't get his head through the door.
Right. Sammy Sosa tried so hard to get away from that reputation that he went white.
Yeah, he went white. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, me play baseball. Me white baseball. Me marching.
I still remember when I saw that picture. I was like, they doing Sammy like they did MJ, man.
Oh, the other MJ.
Yeah. Sorry, not sports.
I thought you just
not
meant
sports
by
MJ.
affiliation.
Not
Sorry.
sports MJ, my bad. No.
Well, Michael Jordan just hung around white people.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson just became white.
White people, yeah.
Yeah. He became white
Became
people.
white people.
He just became white. Good people. Real good people that Michael Jackson is.
Yeah.
I heard he's good with the kids. I heard he's a great babysitter.
Yeah.
Real cuddly.
Yeah.
And
then they go inside. Why are you sitting on a baby?
Come on, kids. I got a nice elephant trunk to show you. Come on. It's Never Everland where we never ever talk about it.
I love what we were talking about, like 2007 sports. Now we're talking about 2007 comedy. This is great.
Yeah. And then 2009 deaths.
Yeah.
That's when he died.
Yep, that was on my grandpa's 16th, or no, it was on my grandpa's, my 16th birthday was the day Michael Jackson died, and the day my
So you celebrate twice that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Farrah Fawcett too, because everyone forgets about Farrah Fawcett. Because obviously, MJ was just the bigger deal.
Yeah, bigger deal. Yeah, I was in Pittsburgh. I was at a Pirates Indians game. They weren't the Guardians yet.
Right. They were.
It was a Pirates Indians game, and it was like right when I got text updates from ESPN, but like they were very small because we were still paying like a dime a text, you know. And then so all of a sudden, like words started to spread. It was like 9/11 for music, and then
Still Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Just want to break stuff.
It's just one of those days.
It's just one of those days. If your hat was red, you'd be real close.
I went.
It's a Fred Durst gone wrong.
Wait, he can go wrong.
You'd be Fred Worst.
That was my actual Halloween costume. I told everyone I was Fred Worst.
Yeah.
And I had just the white t-shirt. I had the red. I have a red Indians hat, which again, I love that it's an Indians hat because now it's even more disrespectful.
Is it a Wahoo?
No, it's just the eye. I wish if it was if it had Wahoo.
Hey, the eye is a collector's item. They only use that logo for.
Size 8 for anyone else that has a big
Jeez,
head.
you got a dome, dude.
Yeah, size 8.
You want to know what I wear?
And this still barely fits.
I haven't worn a fitted hat in forever because New Era is like they made the crown taller, so now it will cover my ear. I wear a 7 1/8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I used to work at Lids, the hat store, and like some 12-year-old kid would come.
That was probably your first job.
No. Okay. I was a newspaper boy when I was 12, umpire at 13, then a bus boy, and then Lids.
I was saying because you look like you worked at Lids.
I
mean that mildly disrespectfully, but mostly not.
I loved it. I got 40% off.
That's awesome.
Genesco's, dude. Yeah. Genesco's, it's Lids and Journeys.
Yeah.
So I can get shoes 40%. Anyways.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would have 12-year-old kids come in with their mom. The mom's like, all right, we're going to get him a fitted hat now. He's old enough to where it won't outsize it next week. You know?
Right.
And so I'd give him a kid's hat, and the biggest 6 7/8 is too small. I'm like, all right, how about a 7 1/8? They're like, that's still way too small. And I'm like, your kid can't have the same size head as me. Actually, I can't have the same size head as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's the correct way of looking at it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I didn't like that. It made me feel less of a man every single time. I'm 17 years old, just getting, degraded by a 12-year-old.
A 12-year-old has more inches than you.
They measure in centimeters. And how I teach, so I get degraded by 12-year-olds still.
Right.
I started using this as a bit, but I had this this girl is right before Christmas break because I'm subbing, so these kids don't know who I am. And they're like, well, how old are you? And I was like, well, take a shot at it. And she goes, 22. I was like, all right, girl in the front. No fucking way. He looks old, like 31. I hated every part of that sentence. Like, I'm not even 30 yet, but like I was offended on behalf of my friends
of your 31-year-old
and just everyone else that I'm like I'm not far away. I turned 30 in a couple months. That's basically 31 for public whatever.
Right.
Yeah, like I feel like after 30 you just go by fives.
Yep.
30, 35, 40.
Yep.
Like nobody cares
You
if
start
you're
rounding up or rounding down.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Right. Like, I turned 31 this year. Who gives a shit about 31? Well, apparently that kid does because now I'm officially old.
Oh, yeah. You're old to that kid. To that little. It's Dave Chappelle. Dave? Is that you?
It is show business, actually.
I'm here with my transgender friend. Angela, what do you got to say to him?
Fuck you, Dave Chappelle.
I'd fuck him.
I could have done the fuck you, Dave Chappelle.
And scene. That was written by, not me. And I didn't say that.
Executive producer Frank DeMent, come on the screen here.
Frank. Oh. Anyways.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
He's one I had to get on here too.
Anyways.
I had to get like an extra filter though.
I got more THC in my whack friend. For Wiley White, that'd be fun.
Yeah, if I have him on here, I'll have to get like a pop filter to catch all the spit.
You gotta get a pop filter. That's all.
And a pop filter,
man.
Yeah.
Every time I go somewhere, he's like, I baked stuff. I'm like, wait a second. What did you do to this, man?
Right.
He's like, I just put a little bit of mushrooms in it. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No one's ever put a little bit.
No, he made THC cornbread. I'm like, I just want cornbread. I don't want it.
Right.
I want a lot of cornbread. I don't want to take a bite and get stoned.
Exactly. Yeah, I want a nice big hearty chunk of cornbread.
Yeah, just throw some. I'll be happier than if it had THC in it.
Like if you're gonna do anything, put the fucking THC in like the soup beans or the chili. Leave the cornbread so I can, at least eat that.
The chili, that sounds like a bad idea.
THC chili?
Yeah.
I'm going to make that.
No. I don't want weed food. I just want to eat the food.
Right.
And then smoke.
Yeah. I mean, because, the thing with weed, like, it's kind of like, how, like, there's, like, spicy beer in, like, the craft beer world. Yeah, like, they make, like, beer that is, like, spicy. Like, they brew it with chilies.
Why?
Because the thing is, I don't get it either. I don't like it because, like, if I'm eating spicy food, the beer is to cool down the spice afterwards. I don't take the antidote away from me by putting peppers in the beer. Yeah,
I don't.
I'm not a fan. So yeah,
it's like the spicy blue cheese wings. It's like, no, those are two different things.
Yeah, like the blue cheese is to help with.
It's not supposed to be the sauce.
Yeah,
like I don't want a blue cheese wing. I want to dip it.
Yeah,
in the blue cheese so I don't die.
Right.
Which I did yesterday. And they're like, do you want a box? I'm like, no. I'm going to die. I need more water.
I want a box with whoever made these.
And it was high up on the heat chart, but I thought I had it before. And then I took one bite and I'm like, I'm going to cry in public. I'm going to cry in public. I don't want to. I'm white. I'm not. I didn't think I was that white. I'm already sweating. It's cold, so it's worked. But this sucks. And then I just poured the blue cheese on it, and then I took a bite. I'm like, no, this all sucks. So I'm just like, here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where were you at?
Oh, a bar across the street from my house.
Well, I was going to ask, but now that you literally put your house at the end of it, it's like now I can't give away your location. But
correct.
Okay. Well, tell me afterwards, because I'm off work till Thursday. I'm always down to wreck up my intestines with some spicy food. So
well, all right. So here's the deal. I am Irish, Scottish, and German. So heat is not a part
of your culture.
No.
Russian, English, German. So also yes.
And so like I mean, a flaming hot Cheeto is gonna give me a fit. Like I can't do like mild buffalo. It better be mild. Like it better, because if it's not, if you're like, yeah, well, it's not good for me, but I like habaneros on toast. Like, okay, well, then I'm gonna need an ER soon. That's what I'm gonna like. Get it on standby. Yeah, and you're gonna have to call them because this is gonna suck. You either get the fire department on call or the plumber, because something's gonna happen if I eat this wing right now.
Right.
And so I'll eat it because I'm not a bitch.
Right. Yeah.
But then I'll just wish I didn't eat it.
Yeah. Like I eat like the fucking like the blazing wings, the killers, the atomic wings, whatever. I'll eat those, but it's not because I have this like great tolerance or immunity of it. It's because I'm a psycho and I just love being in pain and sweating and miserable. Like if I was ever famous enough to be on Hot Ones, I would not be like fucking Lord or like Alton Brown, like, you know, going through not breaking a sweat, just like talking about like the flavor profile of the wings. Like, no, I'll give the internet what they want. Like I'll be there like screaming, sweating.
I would ruin my non-existent career if I went on that show.
Yeah.
Because I would quit.
Yeah.
I've thought about that.
You would Khaled after the third one?
I don't know. I didn't know he did that.
Oh yeah, he's famous on that show because he was like he was in like the first like maybe 15 guests. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he in DJ Khaled fashion, he brought his own chef to like make the wings table side. And then
why?
Yeah, and like still wings because he's DJ Khaled. He's he has a flex that he has money. And then he gets to the third wing, and the sauce is the one that you see at almost every Mexican restaurant, the El Yucateco, like the green stuff on the table.
Oh, the green stuff?
Yeah. Well, it was the red stuff, but it was the same, just the different color. Yeah, and he ate that, and he said something to the effect, well, he did this nice long drawn out of like, yeah, I'm done with this. But specifically what he said was just because I'm not giving up doesn't mean I quit. Yeah.
So that would infer that he would return.
I mean, yes, but he definitely didn't.
Yeah, so he quit.
He quit, exactly.
Yeah, he quit.
Yeah. And
Some
Sean,
stupid sophomore college girl has that on a freaking thing on the wall. Like, just because I gave up didn't mean I quit. Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sean said as soon as he said it, too. It was like, just because I gave up just because I'm giving up doesn't mean I quit. He's like, yeah, that's what that means.
And that's okay.
Yeah. He's like,
but that's 100% what that means.
He's like, you can stop eating the wings. We'll continue the interview, but like, yeah, you quit. Like,
yeah, you didn't make it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I went on there, I would just be there at that point. Like, there's no way I can make it past 2. He could ask me an easy question. It would take me 18 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how about I just write out my answers? Because this ain't going to work anymore.
Yeah.
You could take off the microphone. You're not going to need it anymore unless you want cries and tears and... So what's your name? I'd be like, fuck you. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Well, if I have you back on here in the future, we'll do barbecue ones. So we'll have 10 wings. They're all barbecue sauces, and the last one will be like your basic like hot barbecue from like a wing place. But they'll all just be varying mild flavors of barbecue. Okay. That eventually, like the last like 2 or 3, will be some kind of spicy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that. I did a triple atomic wing once. At Quaker Steak and Lube. My senior year of high school baseball team, we all went to Quaker Steak for the buffet every like Tuesday, and the initiation every player had to do.
Quaker Steak had a buffet.
in Cleveland. Yeah,
Oh,
a wing buffet. It was like $15, all you could eat, and they also had like macaroni and cheese and all that stuff.
What a proper country we used to be.
Right, I know, right? And it was always fresh wings. It wasn't
Yeah,
old wings. Like they kept cooking more, and so you got to tell them like, hey, I want an atomic wing or a triple atomic. And so everybody else had done it the week before. I couldn't make it the week before. So this week they're like, you got to do it. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Like, this is going to ruin my day. Like that. I'm not doing it. I'm like, I'll do the atomic.
Yeah.
Is everybody cool on that? I'll do the atomic. We do that, all that, go away. Apparently, one of them got up and went and told the waitress, like, nope, we're going to do a triple atomic. Mm-hmm. And so I ate this triple atomic wing and proceeded to tongue like 8 cups of pudding right at the buffet table. Like, I didn't even bring them back. I'm just like, ugh. Like, dude, I mean, I am, and I don't know if I even got any of it, but I'm like, I need milk, something. I need something.
Yeah.
And I just tongued a whole lot of chocolate pudding that day. And I mean, I slurped it up.
That is a euphemism. It's great, by the way.
In front of
chocolate pudding.
In front of like 70 people, man. And I know some of them had to be watching this 18-year-old kid just tongue some dairy. Like, I mean, I was going, I bet you I inspired some people for their later plans. I bet you some woman's like, I like that, honey. You see that? You see the round technique he's got going there, in, out, licking lips, going back. I want you to do that. And he's like, did you just get turned on by a 17-year-old eating chocolate pudding? And she's like, well, you haven't done anything to turn me on in 10 years, Tom. So get to swirling. I think this looks good. Maybe that was her. It's like, this is how you do it. Come on. Yeah. Because it was about that big. It works. And if you close it, you know,
right.
If you dent it.
Squish it up a little bit, it gets that starfish shape.
Yeah. So hopefully I can inspire some people that day. 17-year-old Zach.
So bringing it back to Limp Bizkit, we break stuff, and now we're back to the chocolate starfish.
Just bringing back old Limp Bizkit there.
That's another guest I'm manifesting out into the world. I would love to have Fred Durst on this.
If you didn't know what Limp Bizkit was, and you just heard Limp Bizkit, you're like, why are you making fun of Bizkit?
Yeah, right.
Like, can't you help him get better?
Yeah. Why can't you help firm him up a little bit?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. He doesn't have to be limp all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little limp going. Well, let's fix that.
Right.
Give him a cane.
Yeah, get him some physical therapy.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And with Bizkit, that's pretty derogatory. Somehow, probably. Right, Internet? Somehow.
Sounds like a white racial slur.
Those don't exist, but other ones maybe.
Cracker please.
Sure.
I know, right? The fact that
I almost said something real bad.
I was like, they suck so much that we're just like, yeah, we'll let you have cracker even though it's weak as shit.
Well, where the term comes from, pretty strong.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's Happy MLK Day. I just, historically speaking,
I'll donate $1 for every time we said the phrase Happy MLK Day.
3. You're donating $3 to the Black Youth of America. That's foundation.
That's enough for like a McChicken.
Donating $3 to Obamacare. I had a lady in a bar once. I don't know. She got real mad that she wasn't allowed to say the N-word. And like looked at me like I was gonna agree.
You're on my side, right? Yeah.
The second person in that bar to look at me and be like, "This word's okay, right?" And I'm like, "It's not." What part of me looks like that? I don't. I haven't worn flannel in years. I haven't been to a country concert since 2011. No, and I was like, "Well, it's an offensive term." And she's like, well, they say honky and cracker all the time. And I was like, so what?
Yeah.
And all the time? I think that's being a little liberal, you conservatives.
conservative. Like all the time? Really? And I'm like, so that hurts your feelings? And she goes, yeah. And I go, why? Because that was the last time any of your family members had some power. I mean, geez Louise.
Yeah. Actually, there was a okay, it's not so much a white slur. Never mind. It's a religious slur. So we'll save that for another one.
Ooh, what is it?
Well, no. So when Vale and Xena were on here, I was talking about the story that Def was doing a set at one of the Blomedy shows.
These are all real names.
These are real names. Yeah. All three of those have been on the podcast, so people know.
Right.
Yeah, Def was doing a set, and he did the bit about his name, and he said the bit of the joke where he said it was of the Def Goldblum name.
Right.
And it was like what his full name was, and he's like, no, but it was a little too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the other dancers on the show was Jewish, and
she still is, I assume.
Oh yes, she still is. Yeah, but she was Jewish too. I'm
not Jewish. I'm Jew-ish.
Yeah, right.
George Santos. Yeah. It's my favorite quote ever.
But yeah, so she did not appreciate that part of the joke, and she went to Vale about it, and immediately Vale like huddles all the other comics together, and she's like, all right, hey, I need some help. Did not appreciate the comment up there. So what is a Jehovah's Witness slur that I can go up and call him?
Right.
And I was like, I love this perfectly proactive problem solving approach that she's taking.
Yeah.
Not just saying, hey, don't do that. That's wrong. It's like, no, we're fighting fire with fire.
Yeah. I
need to call him a racial slur for his people.
Right.
And then we ended up inventing one because I almost want to
door knocker.
Okay, so we did not invent it, but someone came up with it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and we were like, "Ooh, that's a good one."
I wasn't there.
Yeah, but
I just said that.
Oh well, yeah. I didn't know if it pre-existed or not, but like we all.
It's kind of the only thing we know about him.
Yeah.
So I've had this bit, and it'll never be a bit because it's too old now. But like I thought of it 10 years ago. I want a Jehovah's Witness, but it's Jay-Z, like he's Jehovah's Witness, and he's preaching the good word about Jesus.
I love it.
He's like, I'm here with Beyonce Blue Ivy, preaching the good word of Jesus. If we could just spend a minute of your time. And it was this whole thing on a Jehovah's Witness, and it's just Jay-Z, Beyonce, and their children going door to door talking about Kanye, who just like pops out of the bushes like, yeah,
the burning bush.
Is that the same bush they're burning all his Yeezys in?
Yeah. And they won't burn my Yeezys, that's for sure. My fake Yeezys.
I love that they're burning the Yeezys. Like they're like, yeah, there's kids that are shoeless all over the world.
Right.
But we can't have them wearing anti-Semitic
shoes.
Those shoes have strong meaning in the poorest parts of the world.
Right.
The shithole countries, as our former president called them.
Yeah.
The former president said that, not me. You can't get mad at me. I'm quoting a president of the United States.
Instead of...
And presidential candidate.
Yeah. Not in Colorado, though, for the time being.
Or Maine.
Yeah. But what they should do...
important ones.
Yeah. Those big swing states.
Yeah.
They should take instead of burning the Yeezys, they should take those, put those in the Holocaust Museum, and then take the shoes out of there. So they should just swap the shoes and then give the Holocaust.
So it's everything that survived a burning.
Yes.
Is that what, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I had a little bit on that. People don't really like it too much, but I when they said they were gonna burn them, I'm like, that's great. But the guy's kind of proven he's a fan of burning things with German origins. So I don't really. Adidas is a German country. It always takes people way too long. And I'm like, you guys just think I'm racist. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm very Semitic. That's what I was. I'm pro-Semitic.
Right.
I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm pro-Semitic.
Yeah.
All my favorite comedians are Semitic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I don't, unlike
I love
him.
bagels.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I have a campfire, I'm burning Coco Chanel stuff. That's how Semitic I am.
I remember I hated Pittsburgh so much when I was a kid. I wasn't going to buy a Jerome Bettis jersey, so I just took a white T-shirt, wrote Bettis on the back, 36, and then burned it.
I do love the commitment, though.
I ruined a totally good white T-shirt just to burn a Jerome Bettis jersey. I think it was after you guys won your second Super Bowl in my lifetime. So
yeah. Would that have been 06?
No. That was the one against Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where James Harrison, go Kent State.
Okay, yeah.
Made me hate him.
Yeah.
Because he just housed it. Jackass. I'm sorry, James. I didn't call you that. I feel like James Harrison would just appear like, what'd you say?
Yeah. Of all the podcasts that he just happens to like dive into, and then like here's one about.
Well, he heard a Kent State guy was on there. He's like, Flashes.
Right.
Go Golden Flashes. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh fan, Kent State guy. This is his podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's meet at Mike's for a burger.
Actually, there he is now. Like, can we stream him in?
Yeah.
James, can you hear us?
I'll put him in the up in the corner, like
go shock jock on him.
Yeah.
So James Harrison, how are you doing? Do you think the Steelers have a shot?
Well, see, it doesn't matter if they have a shot.
It doesn't matter what you think. That's the only wrestling thing I know.
Oh man, that was especially like, there's the clip of Mick Foley getting him back with that, because that was like The Rock thing, and Foley was doing this promo, and he asked The Rock a question, and then he cuts him off. It doesn't matter what you think.
The only Foley I recognize is Axel. Thank you. I really don't know who Foley is.
Mick Foley.
I mean, I understand he's a wrestler because of context, but
He had like 3 characters that he did. There was Mankind, the one with like the leather mask thing.
Okay.
Wore the white button-up shirt.
He liked it rough. Yep.
Yeah. Then there was Cactus Jack, who was this like Western themed guy, and then there was Dude Love, who was like a hippie themed guy.
Right.
And there was like one year in the Royal Rumble, all 3 of his characters were in the Royal Rumble because he got eliminated early on, and then like 5 people later, you hear the next one's music, and then vice versa. He didn't win with the odds in his favor.
He stacked the deck and still lost.
Yeah,
that's how bad of a wrestler he is. He lost 4 different times.
Yeah.
That's that's shameful.
Oh yeah,
that's like if T-Pain didn't win a Grammy in 2007. Like he was featured on every song but one.
Yeah. Like had that other one won, that would have absolutely T-Pain should have absolutely taken that personally.
Total pain. T is what total would have stood for. Total pain.
Like he would have inflicted total pain on somebody there, and then days later he would have retreated to his Atlanta strip club and then embraced his inner total pain.
That really hurt.
Yeah. But well, anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. Thank you again for coming out on this very cold Martin Luther King
Thanks for the
Jr.
burger.
Day. Oh yeah, I haven't even touched.
I know. I noticed.
I'm having to microwave the shit out of mine.
Yeah. Get that shit out.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for coming out again.
Yeah.
And tell the folks where they can follow you and any shows you got coming up, anything you want to plug.
Instagram at Zach Harley, ZACH, Harley like the bike. TikTok at Zach Harley Comedy. It's gonna be the same stuff as Instagram. Nothing's changed. It's just a different place so younger people can see it.
Right.
And then people with money can see it on Instagram. What do I got? I got a show in Dayton. I got a Don't Tell show this Friday. So I don't know if I was allowed to tell. I think
you just had to go to the website and
based on the location.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's check this calendar I have here. Don't tell I'm in Salina, Ohio next Friday. And then on Friday, February 22nd at #comedy, I'm on a show, Memory Lane Show, where we are going to share stories about dating, I think. So I have to start dating so I can get a story.
Right.
I got to get some bad dates lined up so I can get some good material.
Well, download Tinder or Bumble. That's a good place to start.
I was just going to fast track it, Christian Mingle.
Oh, okay.
Or Farmers
Only.
Farmers Only.
Well, you're where Farmers Only people are now. We'll just take you to Tractor Supply Company or Rural King.
Sounds like a great date.
Yeah. Rural King gives you free popcorn too, so that's like, and they got some like really good like root beers and sarsaparillas
and dinner and drinks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where can I find this buffet?
This magical place called Rural King. Yeah.
Rural King.
It's right off of State Route 79.
What do they sell? Like guns and Confederate flags?
Yeah, they sell Confederate flag guns. Yeah.
Confederate flag. Well, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to get greedy, so I was hoping they had one or the other.
Yeah. And they have crossbows that have the X on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is that where I sign up for the to be a part of the NRA?
Yes. And actually, I was there recently. Apparently, they were giving away a free trip to Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago.
For January 6th?
Apparently missed out on that.
Yeah. Well, the first trip there is always more fun anyways.
Right.
Anniversaries are never really fun.
Yeah.
2001, that was a great time.
Right.
So I heard.
Wait, what happened then?
I still have to give Nancy Pelosi back her laptop. I can't believe I haven't gotten it back to her all these years. Gonna have to set up a date. Give her husband some flowers.
That should be that can be your memory lane date there with meeting up with Nancy Pelosi.
What a better story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fed her Yankee beans because she's 83 years old or something like that. And obviously her husband can't because I think all of his arms are broken still from that hammer.
Him.
Yeah, it's sad. So I figured I'll just chew it up for both of them, and then I can wheel him away, and then me and Nancy can really start getting into that laptop. That's be the second person that went that got caught on camera.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks again, and follow Zach, and you'll be seeing him around Columbus. And thanks again. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Happy MLK Day. There's for the $5th for